Here we are, everybody. The penultimate competitor in this installment of we all know it too well at this point. There's that leaderboard again, unchanged since round 5. This is, of course, round 6, the raid, and here are the short list of rules for this round. Gate touches, those are A-OK, even running over them a little bit. But missing a gate completely, like how he monorailed that one, that'll get you reset to the previous gate. Physical contact only in the event of a rollover or getting like fully Austin powered, like stuck. Same story back to the last checkpoint. More of an issue in the latter half when I was running out of gates is they're kind of far apart. So in summary, reversing is allowed, clipping checkpoints is okay, fouling them is bad, fouling and rollovers reset to the previous checkpoint. Simple enough. I should hope so at this point. This is a big part of why the installments have been slowing down a little. It's 35 degrees, which in Southern California terms is below zero. Out on the course, currently in 7th place, and realistically only in 7th place because he took over. He's only been in this for 2 rounds, I think. He took over in place of Mutation, who was disassembled and distributed among other vehicles. Bits of him went into the yet-to-be-finished banana build. I've gotten that dirt pile knocked down a little bit since I think competitor 3 was the first one that had to deal with it. Argentum here chugging along. The clips here at an almost old-timey MTV video editing pace because this thing is A, fast, and B, suffering from I think I got a card for this later, but I'm going to mention it now in case I forget to mention it then, which is the double-edged sword of recording the runs first and then running the timed run afterward. So it's kind of like pre-running, like for a rally stage. So I definitely get a better idea of how to approach each gate section. So there'll be sections here in the filmed where I'm using dig and probably shouldn't, and other sections where I should and probably didn't. So when it goes to the timed run, I've got a much better idea of how to go about it, which makes it tricky to get footage to kind of match up with the time. That's, for me, that's the hardest part of the edit. I mean, perhaps too much insight into how the sausage is made, but I mean, this is the truth of it. In order to have a timed competition with essentially 1 competitor and 8 individual vehicles, I have to run them timed independently of the video and then try to get the video to match. So I guess none of this is real, so don't look behind the curtain. But I still think it is helpful because it does give some insight into how the vehicles handle. And Little Yella, I should say, made short work of this and was a bit easier on me, at least in one aspect, because that controller is good enough to where the dig is a momentary, whereas Argentum the Phoenix is on a nice cheap FlySky GT5, and there are no there's no options to program or configure what any of the buttons are. So dig is an on-off. So you got to push it once to turn it on and push it once to turn it off, instead of how Lil Yella can do it, which is just hold the button down and you have dig for as long as you're holding it. So I don't know if it's a mental thing. This is the smoothest dig unit that I've personally used. This whole gearbox is really quite good. And I'm definitely considering moving to a different radio, if just for better application of dig, because I'm finding myself using it quite a lot. If you're paying attention to the clock at all, just past the halfway point, 8:45 is somewhere there, just before the side hill, and Argentum having no issues at all. I think this right here was one of the only sections using the big overdrive, the 33%. I think I used it 3 times. I find it kind of more helpful in instances of turning sharply than I do for pure verticality, unless there's like a lot of grip. Like, it doesn't work as well on slippery vertical as it does on overly grippy vertical, because what'll happen is with weight transfer, when it's on the 6%, the rear will hook too much and upset the balance. So it's kind of like half digging uphill. So for those vertical sections, the 33% overdrive is very helpful. This is one particular section right here on the. I gotta think of a name for this. No vehicle does this really exceptionally well, except Argentum the Phoenix. That right there, that was a one take. He did it effortlessly on the filmed run, and if I can do it in front of the camera, he's gonna do it effortlessly on the time. See, that was into 33%, and here he's slipping because Dry Bone Valley, it's 35 degrees, it's like 98% relative humidity. It was loading up the tusks a little bit. So in sections where he would transition to dirt here, I was semi-consciously trying to limit wheel spin, which is a tough thing to do when you're going as fast as you possibly can, because it was going so fast in some spots, and I didn't want to blow it by, like, say right there, falling into the pit. Little dig there. You can hear the click, the double click of channel 3 many times. Like right here, I tried to use dig, and there was too much grip at the rear and not enough grip at the front, so that would have lost time. So when I did it timed, I just put it into 33% and used the half dig. There was another one where it was a fortuitous roll. He landed perfectly backwards. I don't think I had to put hands on Argentum during the timed run, making him the only competitor other than Blue Sky High to have a perfectly clean run. The difference is Blue Sky High was one of the first few to run this. The conditions were completely different, and he did not do it briskly, whereas Argentum here is doing it quite briskly and just well behaved the whole way. Here's another little. It was slipping quite a lot going up that because, again, mud loading up the tires. But a little special dispensation to take a right-hand pass around. I flipped gate 87 around because that puddle of water will not go away. And we are already through to the end. So there's what Argentum looked like before he rolled out onto the course, sitting in the ice. And there's what he looked like at the end. Like he had a little mud from when he rolled into the tunnel and finished with an 8:45.59, which is the fastest so far, and with one competitor left to run, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the top time. So unless Ironsides, the TRX4 Defender, spontaneously sprouts wings or develops the power to levitate, I think Argentum has got this one. As that tag just said, I should really cut these fenders. I really wish the dig button was momentary, which can be addressed. Both of those can be addressed. And filming before timing, as I mentioned earlier, definitely a double-edged sword, because yes, it results in a quicker timed run, but then I'm trying to edit everything together to make it coherent, and sometimes that's not easy. But anyhow, one round left to go. I'm hoping people will tune in for that one, just because it's going to have the results and the points and the final totals. But I mean, Ironsides is dead last in points, and he's probably going to finish in the bottom of this. So there's your winner of the final round. I can say that pretty confidently. And that's all for this one. Thanks for sticking with it. The Phoenix is an awesome rig. Like, subscribe. Crawler Canyon on Instagram. See you next time.